Hey there, welcome to the tutorial of Pokeball Selfbot premium version. In this video I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up and get it running, like you're seeing in the background right now. Alright, let's get started. So first you gotta get these files to your local system. To do that, navigate to the posted Google Drive link and click on download. Download it somewhere convenient like desktop or whatever. And you'll see a zip file like this. You gotta extract it. And since I already have it extracted, I'm just gonna open it. Right, now you gotta navigate to core files, setup, and run setup.bat. You'll see a screen like this. And before you run it, make sure Python is already installed, and while installing it, make sure add Python to path is enabled. So once you run the setup, I have it already installed, so mine will look different to what you're gonna see. You'll probably see some modules being downloaded. Well, let it complete, and in the end it should say a message like this: successfully install all modules. To run the bot, you need two Discord accounts, the owner account and the bot account. The owner account is the one which sends the commands and controls the bot account, while the bot account is the one which catches the Pokemons and executes the commands. Once you have both the accounts, create a fresh server, add both the accounts as well as Poketwo into that server. Now we need to make sure both these accounts are admin. To do that, go to server settings, roles, and if you don't have one, create a new role called admin. Scroll down, make sure administrator is enabled, save. Then while you are still in the role section, go to Poketwo and make sure admin is disabled. This is pretty critical. Alright, now go to members and give both these accounts the admin role. Now we can start editing the configs. You're probably in the setup folder. Navigate back to core files, go to launch folder, data folder, and open config.json. Now to quick start the bot, we need two things: the token and the owner ID. To get these, let's go back to Discord. In my case, I'm logged in as the owner account, but for this particular section, you would want to log in as the bot account instead, and later you can switch back to your owner account. Alright, while you're in your bot account, press the keys Ctrl-Shift-I. This will open up the developer console. Make sure you're in the network tab, put the filter as XHR, and send a message. This will create the request. Click on either one of them. Maybe messages would be a better option. Alright, scroll down, go to request headers and search for this key authorization. This particular value is your token. Let's go back to the configs. Paste this within the double quotes of the token. Now we need to get the owner ID. Let's go back to Discord. To get the owner ID, first go to user settings, appearance, scroll down, advanced. Under advanced, make sure developer mode is enabled. Once you're done with that, right click on the owner account and copy ID. Going back to our configs, paste it here. Alright, one important thing to notice when dealing with the configs is if it's a string, and by string I mean an alphanumeric or letters or anything, make sure it's within the double quotes. But if it's an integer, that is numbers only, make sure they are not inside double quotes. You can follow the default template. And now that we're done with the configs, we're pretty much ready to run the bot. All you gotta do is double click run.bat. Okay, to make sure the setup went perfectly alright, just validate that your owner is pointing to the owner account and the bot name is pointing to the bot account. Well, rest of them are just gonna be your defaults. They might be a bit different to mine, but that's alright. Actually, let me scroll down. Okay, moving on. Now the first command we're gonna execute as soon as we start the bot, start it for the first time, would be the setup server. We want to create, you can call it a headquarters, where you can run all the commands. And let's get started with it. Prefix. So the way we do it is, we have this command prefix. I think it'll be P for you by default, but I customize mine to have T. You can choose whatever you like. And T setup underscore server. Notice how I sent it with the owner account. That's one great advantage. You don't have to log into the bot account again. You just need it once you want to grab, when you want to grab the token. After that, you can just play around. Alright, enter the number of spam channels. I think default ones would be good. Now, dual has been deprecated because we don't get credits on it anymore, so it seems pretty pointless. So we don't need a dual channel, so 0. Rest all you can just go with the ones. And there you go. We're pretty much done with the setup. Now, one important thing is, as you can see, the secret channel, Poketwo doesn't have access to it. So this is where you must and should send all your commands if you want to stay safe. The first command you want to try after you're done setting up the server would be the obviously help command. Now there are 19 search commands, and well, you can basically go through all of them, but I'll let you do that. And for now, let's just proceed. Okay, let's start spamming in the spam channel and try to catch some Pokemons, shall we? For spamming, you need 3 main commands, and the first command is going to be like the one which you're going to use the most. It's something you have to use at the very starting of a command, because you know what, let me just explain while I do it. You'll get a better idea. Let's check the help document for that. It's called the channel command. Right. Prevent self-bot detection, we need to send commands in hidden channels and let the action take place in chosen channels. So for example, if you want to spam in the spam channel, you want the spam one to be the active channel, but you have to send your commands in the secret channel. Let's see how we can do that. Now that we have our developer mode enabled, we can copy IDs of the channels as well. So let's get the ID of spam1, copy ID, channel, add the ID. And you can see that It's been added on the command prompt. So whenever you send some commands, make sure to keep a lookout on the command prompt. Okay, the channel is added. Now the second command for spamming would be to toggle it on. Toggle spam. Now we can just spam. Boom. So now see what's happening in the spam channel. And magically you get text out of nowhere. And it's not some basic newbie spammer where you just like send a word or two every time. That's not how we do things. This is a human-like spammer which uses random content and random length and random intervals. Oh, there we go. We got our first Pokemon. In case you were wondering if this actually works as an autocatcher, well, there you go. Okay, let's stop spamming for now. To toggle it off, T, toggle spam off. That's it. It won't spam anymore. And one thing you can see is the owner gets the logs in the DMs regarding what Pokemon was caught. Now there are many other such interesting commands we could use, but let's talk a bit about the configs. Alright, as you can see, there are a lot of customizations you can do. Let me just go through them quickly. The first is command prefix. Like I mentioned, it can be anything. Just make sure that it doesn't conflict with any of the existing Discord bots, or else, they'll go crazy and start replying to your every command. You don't want that. Next is a priority list. Now we have something called as a priority only mode, where only the legendary Pokemons and the ones you put in this list, only they will be caught. Apart from getting caught, these Pokemons will always be safe from the mass sell and mass release commands, etc. Next is avoid. If you don't want to catch some Pokemon for some reason, just drop it in here. I think maybe Rattata. Oh well. Catch rate. Now, there are multiple ways you can use a Selfbot. You can go all out and try to get maximum results in less time, or you can play it a bit more stealthily. So for that, if you want to randomly stop catching some common Pokemons, priorities will always be caught, mind you, but I'm talking about the normal ones. Then you can lower your catch rate, or you can just bump it up all the way till 100. Delay is how long the bot will wait before it tries to catch a spawn Pokemon. And the thing is, it even lets others catch it in that time. So if someone, say, catches in 1 second, then it'll silently ignore it, like a good boy the bot is. Delay on priority, you'd mostly want it to be false. Why wouldn't you snipe a legendary? You don't want 2 seconds and let some random dude take it, right? Restrict duplicates. Now, you can hoard hundreds of Pokemons just by running this bot all forever, but that could be a risky thing, because ultimately at least Oliver, I guess, if he goes to the database, he can find out that some accounts have crazy amount of Pokemons, and that's basically asking for a ban. So it's better to restrict caching the duplicates. Max duplicates, I think for Poketwo you'd want to go with 10, because you get a catch bonus on the 10th catch, but this is something which is useful only in the starting. After that, or especially before using commands like mass sell, make sure you change it back to 2 or 3 so that you don't want to keep all the junk in your database. Blacklist channels, whitelist channels, default channel mode. Okay, now these three, you can either restrict the bot working in specific channels by putting them in blacklist channels, or you can make it run only in specific channels by putting those channel IDs in the whitelist channels. But you make sure that if you're going with the whitelist mode, then change this to whitelist. And the same point goes for servers. Guilds are basically servers. Allowed users and alls, this I'm gonna skip. It's not meant for the premium version, but rather the advanced extension, which is still a work in progress. So let's talk about that later. Autolog. So if I switch back to Discord, you can see that it tried to get the Pokemon's IV as well and store it in the database. If you don't want it to do like after every catch, then you probably want to turn that off. If you're doing it in a public, if you're using the bot in a public server, then you definitely gotta turn that off, because this is sus, bro. You don't want to do that. But yeah, it does. Like it takes away the need for using the Pokelog command, but you know, just to be on the safer side, let's turn off Autolog. Autocatcher, why would you want it to be false? Just keep it on. Priority only is something which I mentioned earlier. It's you can either, if you want it to operate only in priority mode, then set this as true. Okay, log level. Now, log level can have multiple values. So default behavior is it will DM you whenever it catches a Pokemon, and it will also print on the console. Now, there is another mode, which is a silent mode, where it'll just shut up. It won't DM, it won't log, it'll do nothing. Or you can put it in print mode, where it only logs to the console and won't disturb you. And then there's the priority mode, where it does DM you, but only when you catch a priority Pokemon or a legendary. IV threshold is something that will come in handy when you are using the mass sell or mass release commands. I think it's better you check the help command for those two, so that you'll get a better understanding of what it means. But basically, it's like setting a limiter. Any Pokemon which has IV above this is gonna be safe. It won't be considered as a trash when you sell it out. Autoclaim. I don't know why I even let it be here. Maybe it'll be useful when I have multi-clone support. Sorry, I'm just ranting to myself, but basically you can just ignore it. Typo rate. Now, one thing, if in case you didn't know, this the auto catcher we have, it can simulate a typo while catching and then again recatch. Just another human-like behavior. And this is the how often you want the typos to occur. For now, this is 10%. Autosleep. Now, this is something I highly recommend keeping it on, because what this does is these 3 lines they're gonna toggle your bot into priority only mode and stop spamming for 15 minutes, 15 plus a random amount of time, like once in every 2 hours, so that you can lay low. I mean, no human can keep on spamming forever, right? So just to lay low, it's better you keep it on. But If you're a heart, if you're a daredevil, well, feel free to turn it off. And clone ID, basically this is just the Poke2's ID. In case I implement support for multiple Poke2 or Pokerealm like bots, you'll basically have to switch it out. But currently, this is custom tailored for Poke2, so leave it like that. And that's pretty much it. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helped. I would appreciate it if you star my repo on GitHub, and you'll even be notified whenever there's a new update. And if you want to support me, well, you're just a command away. donate command. This will basically link you to my PayPal and open the link in the browser where you can help me out. Alright, thanks a lot once again. If you get stuck anywhere, do DM me. I'll try to get back to you whenever I can. And finally, enjoy.